I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey fam, we're back with another episode of Below Deck, episode 5, Schmexual Smention. I'm your host, Akilah, Ffriend, and today we're going to do something a little different. How about we all say the different types of boats, or what our potential boat would be? I'll go first. So my boat would be called What's Your Fantasy? With C obviously spelled S-E-A. Right, you feel that. Right to my left, we'll have my co-host, Nate Harris. Nate Harris, tell me what your boat would be.
I want to change my boat name because, oh my God.
So good.
My boat name is going to be King Harris. We're just going to keep it like the Queen Mary. King Harris, that's who I am, and that's what my boat's going to be called.
Yes, and Amir Yassai.
Ever so royal, Nate, always. I think I want a catamaran. So if you don't know what a catamaran is, it's a covered boat, honey, and you can have mimosas on it. And I'm going to call her Boat Boo. Because then when I invite people over, come over to my Boat Boo.
Yes.
That's genie insight there.
Elizabeth Pena, tell us what your boat would be.
Being Latina, you know, I have to give it such a great name, and I'm going for La Chingona.
Ooh.
And for those that don't know Spanish, it means badass. And, you know, it's going to be a badass chick, you know? She's going to be taking me way... She floats, girl. She floats.
Okay. Yes. So, I mean, we're back again with another episode. This time, we just finished wrapping up seeing Schmexual Smention. I feel like this has to be the last time I say this title.
It's such a tongue twister.
It's such a tongue twister, but so much happened today. Like, we went into a lot of relationships brewing. We had Adam and Jenna, Glenn and Sylvia, the charter guest. We had Paget and Georgia. We'll also move into talking about some of the work tensions. So where there was relationships, there were also a lot of work kind of drama happening, obviously between all of the stews and also with Parker, Ciara, Paget. We'll talk about that. We'll definitely go into all the details, but we won't definitely leave you behind without talking about some of our special segments. So today we'll have Elizabeth Pena taking us away with the guest requests or some of the funny ones that we've seen in seasons past, as well as some good juicy gossip brought to by yours truly, Amir Yassai. And finally, we'll drop it all off with a lot of predictions of what we think next episode will be about. Right. But before we move on, let's just talk about overall thoughts. What did you guys think? What happened this episode?
So, I mean, you go first. No, it's all you, Liz.
Ladies
badass
first.
Chingona, let's go.
Okay, all right. So, Chingona over here. Madison, she squared up, but in such a polite way. Like, honestly, I love the way she handled tension. You could tell that she's very mature. She knows how to respect another woman or another man, and she's just such a team player. I love her. I feel like even though, like, you know, work tensions were, you know, getting real high, she knew how to handle it, and she's finding solutions. She's not just, like, you know, just elongating a fight. So, yeah. So what about you?
I mean, you took it right out of my mouth, girl. I was going to say Madison as well. I think that she showed up, but I want to kind of focus on my opinions of poor Ciara. I feel like she's been beaten down by this relationship, the bickering, the way her boyfriend's disrespecting her, not only in front of her, but now behind her back. And it's getting to the point where he's like saying, naughty girl, I'm a naughty boy, and it's too much. And they need to stop.
Yeah.
Hard to watch.
I was really impressed by the communication of everyone. So, you know, we've been talking about how the leadership from the top has been bad. Now from the bottom up, like Parker, he's communicating to them, like, should I do it like this? Should I do it like that? Same with Georgia when it came to Jenna. Like, they're communicating more. And then even, like, the situation with Madison and Georgia, it's like, dude, let's talk about this right now. Like, what is your issue? Why did you throw that jab? So the communication is kind of something that I noticed out of this episode. But that's just, I mean, everything else too. But I want to be different than y'all.
Yeah. But I think that also shows, the communication kind of shows, like, you know, the toxicity of this boat relationship too, because people don't want to take orders, even though they may be good ones, or even good advice from folks who they think are supposed to be below them. You know, like Parker had a lot of good things to say, and he was actually right this time around. Parker is not usually right when it comes to doing his job, but he actually had good opinions and knew what to do. But Ciara just didn't want to take it. I don't know if it goes back to the relationship or the fact that literally, no, you're agreeing on this boat right now. I shouldn't even be listening to you, period. I don't know. It was a lot going on there, but we'll delve into that. Let's talk about.
Can I ask you a quick question, Akilah, on that point? Because I think that there's a lot of, if you ever saw Downton Downton Abbey. There's like the kind of the rich people and the below the deck in a way. And I think that there's this level even within the employees where they're like, listen, you're kind of below me in a way.
Yeah.
Don't tell me what to do, even if it's right. So I think there's just like a little bit of snootiness with yachting. So
Absolutely.
it came out this episode
Absolutely.
hardcore.
That's true. That's true. I mean, before we delve into more of the working relationships, which we will, let's talk about the actual relationships or those that may be forming. So, who should we start with first? How about good old Adam and Jenna? we knew by this time they had to do something more than just flirt in the food chain or whatever. in the galley. In the food chain.
I like that better.
Right. What do you think about this?
I think Jenna found her fish in the sea.
Throw it back, honey. It's not good. Throw it back.
I mean, it's a little awkward still seeing, the chief stew with, the chef. And given his history, and you know him better than me, I just feel like it's starting a little slow, but it's kind of, like I said, it's awkward for me. It's awkward for me to see this happen because she's such a B and then he's such a B, and it's just like now both are gonna be such B's to like the rest of the crew. But I'm thinking maybe the love will finally have them calm down and be nicer to their staff. So maybe they do need to hook up for the staff to finally have less tension. Yeah.
That's not usually how it works out with this show, unfortunately.
He's like,
they hook
no.
up and other tension comes out because then they start kind of, and generally the chief stew and the chef historically never get along to the point of like yelling, cussing each other out.
Wow.
It gets real contentious. Like they threw sand, the chef in the last season of Below Deck threw sand in Kate's eye. It's bad.
Messy.
So I think that this is new for everyone and it's kind of nice, but I think they need to watch when Madison's in the room. It's like when mom and dad are flirting.
That's what I was about to say. It's like, I don't know if it'll get better or worse because if they already don't care that other people are there and they're talking in a way that's like not even work appropriate, and you're my boss and I'm seeing you flirt with someone else there. I'm like, there's so much messiness happening already. I'm like, no one can stop them.
With Madison there, it's just so gross.
I felt for her. I really felt for her. And it's all sexual. Like he's like, you're eating the yogurt. It's like, why is that sexual? It's just like, you guys need to just like fool around and get it out of your system.
Right.
Get it out. I think that Adam is gonna break her heart, unfortunately.
Ooh. You think Jenna has a heart to break?
Yes, I do.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a really good one right there. But when he made the comment saying, I mean, of course, we've been talking this whole season, about the proximity thing. And, like, yes, of course, he's there. He's enjoying her time. He's enjoying her presence. Mm-hmm. But then once he said that he gets infatuated easily, I'm the same way.
Oh.
And because that is what's right there, he truly likes her. And these feelings are true to him right now. But once they get off that boat, he goes back to his normal life and he's road tripping and doing all those different things. It is so over. And now I feel bad for you, Jenna, because your heart's going to get broken.
Yikes. Yikes.
Nada's right. And they showed it. They showed a little of the footage, all the kissing and the fights. And I witnessed all of that, honey. And it was hard to watch because he was definite F-boy to the core. Yeah. And he's still reformed, but I think what could happen, a lot of times people that are very, as Liz very nicely said, bees. I was going to say the word, but we're going to say bees. They when they find each other, maybe they can warm each other up a little bit and kind of. Yeah. But the only problem I have is that they really get off on how mean they are to their staff. Yeah. So is that going to get worse?
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Right. If that's your main bonding experience.
Is that your foreplay?
The fact that let's both talk about how mean we are and what we should do to one up the other or whatever. I just feel like this is a recipe for disaster. But we don't know. We see how Adam was in years past because he just happened to be on these series. We don't know who Jenna was beforehand. Like maybe she was just like him or worse. So I think he probably met his match in a sense too, where
well, she also, has tons of boyfriends, so she doesn't have the
faces.
best. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I wonder why those faces are blurred, to be honest. Yes. I love that.
I just feel they're both toxic, so toxic and toxic is going to work. Some people think it is going to work, but I heard recently like a quote and it says like, have you ever seen a man or a girl date the same person over and over again just in different bodies?
Ooh.
It is the
that's a good
person
one.
that needs to change.
Ooh.
It's not the partner that needs to change. So
Yes.
until they both go through that.
Can we get snaps?
Dr.
Okay?
Oh, we're not
honey.
snapping for me today. We're not doing
Yes,
it.
they
We
are.
are snap, 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 snap.
Dr.
I'm not
Nate.
gonna say no,
I felt
seriously
that.
though, like you have to transform yourself, and then
Yes.
once you transfer yourself, you'll start attracting those different people that you actually want
That's
to make you have a healthy
completely
relationship.
it. That is completely it.
Super
you know
Soul
what?
Sunday.
We need a
calling
segment
Nate.
for this.
We do need a segment for this. We're gonna keep up with this relationship banter. We might just have Nate to do it. But you guys also can be a part of the conversation. How about you let us know, what do you think about Adam and Jenna? Or what do you think about any of the relationships brewing? What we can do, obviously, we post every week below deck. Find us on AfterBuzz TV and be a part of the conversation by liking, subscribing, commenting. We want to know what you think, and we may include your comments and your thoughts on the next episode.
Yep, we want friends.
Validation.
Wait, that was a synonym for like, please talk to us.
Please hang out with us.
There were other relationships going though. Let's keep it cute though. We also had Captain Glenn. It seemed like he may have found love on the boat. Like, who knows? There was a cast or a charter guest member, Sylvia, who came with the rest of her family and friends. And
a
we
baby.
saw and the baby. We can't
Don't forget the baby.
Don't forget this baby, because they were about to have that baby flying off this boat. but Captain Glenn seemed to have a little love interest, or I guess Sylvia was interested in Glenn.
Right.
Yeah, what do y'all think about that?
Well, the guests always love the captain. They always throw themselves at him. But this is the first time I've seen any of the captains, Captain Lee and Captain Sandy, always shut it down.
Yeah.
But it's the first time that someone kind of gave in, and he talked about how it's hard to maintain a relationship. So I thought it was really nice that he opened up and he put on pants.
Yes!
He loves her.
High waters with
High
High
waters.
He loves her. He needs to be on The Bachelor for Seniors, ABC.
Yes.
Find Captain Glenn and put him on that show.
Yes.
Because he's looking for love all over the Greece.
Aw,
It's
I
so
did
cute.
think it was cute too how he said that
Sweet.
he is used to being alone, and he just wants to travel, but you could tell he's getting a little older, and he's having to see that life may be something else besides just
Yeah.
being a captain. So hopefully Sylvia gets him finally out there and
Into
dating,
that.
or at least dating, because that's what we need to see more from Captain Glenn.
But he did say a partner wouldn't stop him from doing what he wants to do. So I'm thinking he's probably a lifer in terms of, I'm here to just run in the streets and do what I need to do. And we do see people like that who don't necessarily want to settle down,
Right.
don't feel the obligation to settle down, don't feel like a partner would define them. And I feel like he's found his partner with sailing, with being a captain, and it's almost like Sylvia's just, okay, whatever, you're here. I have to make the stop anyway. You're fun to talk to. Let's just see where it goes. But I kind of don't see him ever potentially wanting to find that one.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no picket fence in his
Right.
future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you, and
Yeah.
I think that they just wanted to show some little extra drama. There was nothing real, but recently I've fell in love with older people's love, because we forget that they
okay.
they're
That a
human.
fetish?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying how cute it is seeing it's
There's
like
a
damn.
site for that.
We forget older people, they're humans. They still have
Yeah.
feelings and emotions, and they
Of
want.
course.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We
Did you see
forget about-
Dating Around on Netflix? They had an older guy in his almost 70s dating, and he talked about the stigma.
Yeah.
There is a stigma.
There's a stigma
Yeah,
around that.
absolutely.
So me seeing it is just oh, that person is lonely. So I think more to hang out with my grandma and think about her more often, because it's we're living our lives and they already lived their lives. But it's their friends are gone and their
Yeah.
lovers are gone. It's what do they do now?
They
so
want the life part too, right?
it was so adorable to have him experience that. And even grandma, you can tell she was ready. She was like, look, I need somebody. You just
She
gonna be
put on
on
her
this boat
Sunday
or on
best.
land.
She didn't care. She even hit on the city mayor, the guy that dropped him off, and I don't think he spoke English.
Yeah.
But didn't matter to her, so it was great.
I'm here for that. That's someone who you want as your wing woman, so that'll be a good time. I mean, we also had, I don't want to call this a relationship, but something's going to go down between Paget and Georgia. Let's talk about, I know, it's
I
almost
don't
like when
even
you see
wanna,
a train wreck happening, you're kind of like, girl, what's happening? You kind of want to see, but you don't want to see that you're seeing, but we got to talk about them. There's been developments between Paget and Georgia,
They're such
Yeah.
great friends, but it's going a little too far
They have
now.
chemistry.
Yeah, with the comments, and it's just in front of Ciara too. It's
Yeah.
a little disrespectful now
Yeah.
that I see it. Now I see it what you guys were talking about. But I don't know. I don't think Georgia would go that far as what you guys might think. I don't know. not something I see from Georgia. I see her being like an American Idol, if anything.
Right? She was singing all nice and shit. But I worry because when you have that good of flirting and that chemistry and there's no awkwardness, and it seems like now that her and Madison are kind of like had a little bit of a spat, she's now kind of leaning on Paget. And men, no offense, Nate, I'm a man, so it's fine. But like men, just like even the smallest inch, they take a mile. So her even responding is like, please take my skirt off.
Right.
So I worry that like in his head, and it seems like Ciara is not giving him what he needs, and men are we're very like visual, and it seems like his girlfriend's just turned off by not him but everything.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
he tried to touch her hair, and she's just like, no.
No.
And then you go to Georgia, and she lights up at him. You know, you look like you're from Greece, and you're lighting me up, and all of that, and that feels good.
Yeah, I mean, but it definitely got very weird when he was saying, "Oh, I like hearing you talk on the radio. It's, you know, very sensual." And she actually repeated it. She was like, "Okay, well, we can be sensual
together."
together."
Paget, Paget. What did she say? She was like, Georgia, Paget.
Right. And then obviously when they went out, it was a whole situation too. I do think kind of it's a mixture of you two. Like she's obviously probably for the mindset of like, listen, this is not my man. I'm not the one in the relationship. I don't have to be necessarily the guardian of what's going on between you two. It's not my responsibility.
Right.
And she might just be playfully flirting, but I think also, I mean, the onus is on him to have some respect and boundaries for his girlfriend, but also Georgia, because she's so close to you, like you guys are all it's not like you just know he has a girlfriend and you're just like, well, I don't know this girl, I don't know your relationship. You literally see it every day. You're amongst it every day.
Right.
So it's almost your responsibility to just cut the ties, you know?
But you get horny. I think people kind of forget you're in a small court. Like, literally, the galley is the size of our studio. If we were stuck in here, in and out, y'all would start looking good.
True.
And we're on a boat. Like, so I think we have to kind of give them the benefit. Again, I'm not saying it's okay what they're doing, but I'm just saying, like, I think they're in those small quarters, and then someone's giving you a little taste of what it's like to be at home.
Right.
Maybe to get a guy flirting with you at home. Like, and again, they should know. They're on TV. Like, you're not texting, and it's not secret. It's really out in the open.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I kind of said last week, it is Paget. And it's kind of because Paget has been by himself his whole entire life, and now he just sees more life. He sees more women. He sees more things. So I kind of understand from that perspective. But he needs to understand, and I understand the flirtation, because I'm naturally a flirtation type of person, right?
Ooh.
Just
getting
naturally,
him in the studio was hard. Gotta talk to everybody. It's okay. Go ahead, Nate. Sorry.
But because of that, though, I don't notice sometimes when I'm flirting. So I used to get in trouble back in the day all the time when it came to the lady I was dealing with at the time. Why are you flirting with her, and her?
You told her that, lady dealing with? Love it.
Wait, would you do that when you had a girlfriend, though?
No, like, yeah, it was my girlfriend. So,
with
like,
your girlfriend.
You would do it
wherever my
unexpectedly.
Yeah, but yeah, I wouldn't be purposely flirting, but I would be flirting. So they would confront me about it, and it's like, dude, I'm not really flirting. You're being dramatic. Get out of my face. But now I look back on things, Nate, that wasn't okay the way you were doing that. So that's why I thought I'd look at Paget as like someone who's really immature when it comes to a relationship standpoint. So
you make a great
That's
point,
me too.
because I have a friend that is super flirtatious and whatnot, and then somebody took it the wrong way, and now it became a mess, and now they're not friends. But she's like, it wasn't like that. Like she was just being nice back. Simple thing as just dancing with someone, But then it's like you have to know where you might cross the boundary. You have to respect other people's relationships. Something I saw from Ciara, she was talking about how she was raised without friends, I guess. Like she didn't have too much girlfriends.
Right.
So Paget and her are both kind of loners when they're growing up. So now that they're in this social environment, such a small environment too, I can see why they're both frustrated, because they're not
their own age.
Yeah, they're not by themselves like they were for those 9 months,
But this is where I'm always wondering, where is Ciara? Because I feel like if I personally knew that my man was out here talking to another girl or flirting, whether it be playfully or not, and I overheard it, where was she to ever? I don't ever see her confronting Paget on this or saying why are you talking to Georgia? She then closes up. Don't touch me. She doesn't want. She doesn't explain. She doesn't communicate. She doesn't. She's tries to be passive about it and leaves him to just continue to do more of it. With your example, it sounds like the girl that you were talking to at least told you, hey, this is a problem and this can't. And if you continued after that, then okay, we have a problem. But it doesn't sound like she's at least letting him know. And I'm sorry, I would have to be more vocal in my relationship. I would say, listen, this is problematic. Let's figure this out, or I'm going to walk out.
Can I play devil's advocate real quick?
Yes.
I think that when it comes to Akilah, like you're a stronger personality, and I'm a stronger personality, I would say something.
Right.
But I think Ciara also, like, the cameras are turning her off. Like, having all those cameras, she's probably not used to it. She doesn't want to come off as a bitch. She's probably... at this point, like, read some comments from past seasons on Twitter and the promos, like, because they start filming, they do the promos first. So, like, she might be, like, people are already, like, not liking her. She's probably in her head. So I think that there's that as well. And it seems like, I could be wrong, but Paget is the kind of guy that kind of, he says, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Kind of like what you were doing.
Yeah.
It's nothing. I'm not doing anything. But like, it's very quick from flirting to like P&B.
Right.
It happens quickly. So she probably doesn't have the words to confront.
Yeah.
That's all.
I'm gonna say that too, and also like she may also she doesn't want to be that person that does say something and it really isn't anything.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's a good point.
She
You
may
have to
just
be
not know
sure.
anything.
Yeah, you don't want to be that girl.
Yeah, you know.
Listen, I'm gonna be that girl. This is my man. You're talking to my man like this. This is whatever.
She should go to Georgia.
Yes.
Like very nicely. Like maybe when they're out to dinner, be like, can I just talk to you outside? Like me and my man have these parameters. Like I'm a flirt, and when I'm dating someone, I don't like him to flirt at all. But I want to flirt with everyone.
Right.
So it's like you have to have those parameters set up, and it always worked in relationships.
Yeah.
So like I think she needs to be like, listen, I don't like when you flirt with my man. It hurts my feelings. As a girl, can you do me the like courtesy to not do it?
Yeah.
Or something.
That would work. But then I'm thinking if I was Georgia. Yeah, we could really talk about let's talk about this then. Because if I was Georgia hearing this, I'm like, this has nothing to do with me.
That's what I was about to say. You cannot tell another girl what to do.
Yeah. And I wouldn't want to, as Ciara, let this girl know that I'm bothered by
I
the
got
fact
you.
that
Okay.
Yeah.
right. But that's
I didn't think
When it
about
comes
that.
to flirting, cheating, all this stuff, it has nothing to do with the other partner. It's your man, your woman, whoever you're dealing with. The other party is just a third party.
There's a third party.
So
I mean, you can cuss them out too at the end.
So how do we as women like give off like a warning in a way? Like, don't talk to my man.
I would say just be straight up with it, in my personal opinion. But we always, again, I just feel like that she just didn't want to be that woman who sounded crazy. No, attack that, have that
Making it a big
conversation.
deal.
Your man is, no, babe, this is really what's going on. And then now it's in his head to make sure he doesn't do it again. But
Right.
no, have the conveation. If he thinks you're crazy, he's probably not the one for you anyway.
That's a good way to say it.
That's
And
it.
listen, Liz, I have advice for you. You date people that are less attractive than you.
No. What about Beyonce?
You say Jay-Z
Jay-Z got the money, though.
Listen,
That money is fine.
if Beyonce gets cheated on, we have Kylie Jenner cheated on, we have Shakira cheated on. I mean, none of the normal people have any luck. You just have to trust your man, you have to trust yourself, and you have to hope for the best. And with all the technology, you can't track anything.
Communication is key too.
That's true. That's true.
Ladies, when you get cheated
Listen.
on, it has nothing to do with you ever.
Or
Know
men.
that.
Or men. Men do get cheated on.
I got cheated on.
Oh yeah, I know.
Didn't
Trust
feel
me.
good.
Trust me, we get cheated
Didn't
on.
feel
But
good.
it's okay. His car didn't really last the relationship. It's fine. That's neither here nor there.
Tension.
Yeah?
Let's move to work.
move
Let's
on.
move to work.
Sorry.
Okay, but this is great. I mean, there were a lot of, obviously we talked about the relationship tension, but it kind of, in a way, bled into the work tension too. There were almost trios happening. We had Madison, Georgia, and Jenna. We also had Parker, Ciara, and Paget. We kind of talked about Ciara a little bit. Let's give her a break for just a few minutes while we first delve into Madison, Georgia, and Jenna. Let's talk about the stews, what's happening with them, and what's stewing up between the three when it comes to work.
I love that pun.
Yes.
So I just wish they had like some type of, I don't know, vacation before they all went together so they could bond and become best friends and know each other's weaknesses and, you know, just bond, girls, you know, because it's almost like this is women empowerment, you know, like we need to work together, learn how to work together, and then maybe we'll be, you know, better at communication. But if anything, that's all they lack right now. They don't know each other too well, and they're not taking, you know, criticism or just orders any way, you know, besides just like, oh, okay, like you're telling me what to do. I wouldn't like to be told what to do by someone I wouldn't like know at all, you know? So I think that's what's like missing here.
Well, I want to add this real quick because just like the picture that they put up there, what is her name? Jenna posted a picture after the last week episode, and she went over the fact how, yes, they just met 24 hours before. There's a lot of editing that does go along. So she kind of expressed herself in her relationship with Georgia and how all three of them were in their own cabin. So there was no kind of space for them to release any tension, to release their feelings. And so all that adds to all of the tension that is going on. So I just wanted to add that too.
But they probably did it on purpose for just like.
And I'm still curious as to who was whose job, because it sounds like earlier, one of the problems was the whole thing about laundry, and I thought it was Georgia's responsibility to do the laundry.
Right. I thought she's third stew or she's second. I thought Madison was second stew and she's third stew. That's
right.
How
That's how I perceived
it
too. That's how I perceived it. And but the thing is, I know Madison said a quote earlier was like, either Georgia is really slow at her job or Jenna is really bad at giving instructions. It's a mystery. And I think that's just what's happening, because what I don't like that seemed to happen this episode. It seemed like Georgia was almost trying to turn on Madison, or I don't know if it was getting her frustrations out on Madison for Madison not doing a job that I don't think she ever needed to do in the first place. So
do you think she's comfortable with her? Because you always take out like your anger on people you're comfortable with. Like,
true.
So but Georgia is a bit combative, and I think that I like that she spoke up, but that is her job to do laundry. And nobody wants to do it. Last season, Simone didn't want to do the laundry either. Nobody wants to be in that tiny room stuck in the heat. I get it. But I don't like that when Madison's trying to help her, she shaded her. And Madison's really trying to kind of be a good friend, be a good employee. She's, in my opinion, on the boat doing the best job to be above board, to follow regulations in a regulation-less boat.
Yeah.
It seems like everything's just kind of the wild, wild west. And I'm like, can someone make it organized? And she's doing a good job, because Jenna's just trying to flirt and George is complaining, so Madison's actually doing the heavy lifting.
True.
Yeah, I'm proud of Madison. She's a peacemaker. She's working hard, and it's getting to the point where it's like, all right, look, I've been trying to take care of all y'all feelings. I've been trying to be the middleman, but then you guys are coming at me. I'm gonna come back. Let's have this conversation right now, Georgia. Why are you throwing these shots at me?
There it is.
I'm glad that she did that. And again, feisty Madison. I love her.
She was good.
She deserves Employee of the Month or of the day.
Of the boat. Just give her the whole boat.
Yes,
Or
give
maybe
her
she
a day
should take
off.
someone's tip.
Yeah, she
Ooh.
deserves a bonus.
I got you, Madison. I got you, girl.
Oh my God.
It's a lot. Even with all this, I'm like, what does the chief stew do? Because I'm like, shouldn't Jenna at least
Try to
you're the
bang
head.
Adam?
True.
They always get in
you're the
trouble
head,
for
but
that,
shouldn't
though.
you still, jump in and help every now and then? That's just
They
not
get
how
in
it works.
trouble. So Kate, Hannah, and now Jenna, it seems like it's a hall of fame of delegation and not really lifting your finger.
Yeah.
It's always Kate going, I'm doing 100 things. Listen, girl, I love you. But it's always, and then she's not really doing the heavy lifting.
Right.
So and then same thing with Hannah, and now Jenna's really following suit. And I think that they all had a little coffee date in New York or something during the upfront, and we're like, listen,
This is what you gotta
delegate, bitch. So I'm not mad at that. So I think that, it's an interesting dynamic for sure.
Listen, speaking of delegation, let's talk about Parker, Ciara, and Paget, because it seemed like Ciara was not trying to take no type of orders from Parker. And Parker seemed to finally be right with something when it comes to being a deckhand. But Ciara was not into it. I mean, I know she mentioned earlier that, when she was little, her nickname was I Do It, because she's like really self-sufficient and likes to do her own thing. But it doesn't seem to be working when it comes to this
Horrible
story.
nickname, first of all.
Yeah.
I do. That's your nickname? Okay. I don't think it was working. I don't think she's doing a good job. I'm sorry. She seems overwhelmed, and guests are now waiting for you guys to have your argument.
Right.
And you made them wait for 40 minutes. And bless these white people.
Ooh.
They didn't sit. They
No.
didn't complain. My family would have been
Would've
off
been
the boat.
ready.
We would have taken the 1-month-old, held it up, and jumped into the water. So I don't know what, good for them for following the rules and then even complain. So I think that that could have been a moment where it really affected their tip. It could have really been, they could have complained. It could have been really bad. So
Well, it's
it was
probably
handled
because
poorly.
she had a crush on Captain
That
Glenn.
didn't hurt. That
She's
didn't
like,
hurt.
I want to stay on this boat as long as possible.
Yep.
I feel like everything's been an ego thing. Like
Yes.
everybody has this
Yes.
ego. It's like he should be listening to me. Like what? Like we have one common goal: to please these guests.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what you have to do and what I have to do. Maybe I have to pick up your slack. And I get the frustration, but we need to start dealing with people individually. So she's
Right.
frustrated with the relationship with Paget. It's going off to Parker, but it's like if she would have just listened to Parker and listened to why he was saying I'm going up here or you need to go up to eat. Like that would have been resolved. It was so simple, but they're focused on other things, and everyone's angry at whatever they're angry about, their own personal feelings, and so.
Can I tell you why, Nate? I think, and quickly, because we have a lot of things to get through, but
Yeah.
it's like with the yachting, it's weird because I think people don't want to get replaced or fired, so they're like, I want to be like, this is my job, I'm doing the cushions, and if someone else does it, then I have no job here. I'm gonna get fired. So
then you realize I'm like kind of not doing anything at all.
Because they've been replaced in the past. And quickly the captain will be like, well, you're not doing much, so
time to go.
Yeah.
Time to go.
Because they don't want to share the tip.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That might be it. I mean, I'm down to see what else happens here, because I feel like even down for lunch when, you know, Parker and Ciara each had lunch at the same time, but it also seems like Parker also makes a lot of commentary, like Jenna mentioned. Like he always has something to say or a reason for why he's doing everything, and it might go back to what you said, Amir.
Maybe.
But
Give him some club soda.
Yes.
Jenna.
He wants club soda, but let's talk about what some of these guests want. How about Elizabeth? Let's get into our special segment.
Okay. So I know we've discussed about Italian food with no, ingredients before, but this time we have a rattlesnake request, and it's gross. Honestly, I love snakes. I love reptiles, but the fact that no.
Oh, okay.
I thought I was like eating them.
But I would never eat them.
Oh.
That's the thing. Peta, come on. So yeah, they had to fly a snake over to this guest, and luckily it was dead and on ice, so it was ready for them to just start, cooking up. I don't know about that. Yeah, sounds like coronavirus.
Yeah, totally.
Number
That's
2.
No
Wait.
So I know.
It's too crazy. There's no time to
There's
understand.
more
it.
crazy. Tell us what else.
Second one would be junk food only.
Ooh.
So apparently these guests just wanted pizza and fries. I don't know, maybe wings here and there.
I'm not mad at that.
I could see a bag of Cheetos, on there, but I don't know. That's as far as I'd go. I'd probably only request Cheetos.
True.
Yeah. But Nate, you got to say something, so please say it.
No, I'm just shocked. I'm shocked that people want rattlesnakes for food. I don't know, but I guess people do eat dogs for food, and I
There
can
you
never
go.
see myself
It's
eating
true.
a dog. So
Sustenance, honey.
Depends on where you're at, right? Protein.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And then we also, obviously, we did our special segment, but we got a lot of good, juicy news, and we want to get straight to it. Amir, take us away.
So, obviously, Nate kind of touched upon how Jenna posted a picture and was saying kind of the behind the scenes. So then Georgia posted her own picture and said photoshopping is real.
Ooh.
So they posted a picture where they kind of look lovey-dovey, but you can tell Jenna's trying to get away and Georgia's just like, ugh. So their relationship, I don't think, is going to end with a friendship at the end of the season. I don't see that.
Hey, that
was
news.
That was news.
Hey, that's news.
That's
bro.
news. And that is very shady to even say
Shady.
Photoshop is real.
But Jenna commented and said like hearts or love you girl or something. So I don't know. I don't know if that's like PR.
You're right.
Quick question, when did she post it? Do you know?
Recently.
Recently. I think it was like about a week ago.
I want to know, because the reason I asked it, because I want to know if Jenna posted hers first and she reposted in like Jenna's being fake over there with this long story that she
Got
got.
it, got it.
'Cause, like,
Guys,
Jenna's
if you
literally
saw the
very clear
photo,
that-
let us know.
Please let us know, because we know these AfterBuzzers are detectives.
You're on
honey.
it. You're on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But this wasn't the only thing we got to talk about today.
Honey.
So with Madison and Paget, didn't something happen there when it comes to?
So I was asking her because we were kind of messaging, and I was like, "Girl, do you know his age?" Because I was trying to figure out the age to see if that was like his immaturity or whatever. And then she literally sent me a Google. It was like a screenshot of a Google search saying, "How old is the boiled potato?" And it's a running joke too between all of them from a German article that said that he had the sex appeal of a boiled potato.
Oh man.
So that's a running joke. She never said it. Madison never said it. It was a running joke. They had,
Right.
So, yeah.
But actually, how old is a boiled potato?
Oh, depends on if it's coming from Idaho or Dublin, girl.
Oh.
Depends.
Truth. Okay. I mean, well, that's our news for
Nope,
today.
let me add this.
Oh,
real quick. Let me
he
add
said
y'all.
he's creeping with the news.
Oh, he put it up there. Never mind. We don't have news. Love you guys. We'll see you next time.
No,
it's Jenna, you
Okay,
bully.
no, Jenna tweeted this because everybody's been attacking Jenna,
Sure.
but she tweeted, Jenna, you bully. You need to build women up. While at the same breath, you guys are telling me you want to hurt me and physically call me various cruel names. Please take your own advice, and I will take mine to self-reflect. To examine my personal relationships and show love. So everyone being mean to Jenna, please be nice to her. I know it may look so bad, but I got you, girl.
She's a person too.
Did we not call her? We said they had no soul.
I mean,
we said that earlier in the show.
we did, but
They
you know
found
what?
each other.
We're
It's okay.
allowed to change minds.
Yes, honey, anti-bullying.
Yeah,
We're anti-bullying.
I do think, I mean, we're just quoting on what we see. We're saying what we feel based on what we see.
Absolutely.
So, girl, I mean, editors can do but so much. If it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, girl.
It's a bitch.
But Jenna, you got a couple more episodes to change your ways. Who knows? You may enlighten us all. But that's it for today, guys. This was such a great show. We had so much to talk about.
So fun.
And I feel like before we really end, we want to really talk about what do you think is going to happen on the next episode?
AfterBuzz TV.
Let's take
Okay,
it.
I think Mr. Captain Glenn went off to go on a date with Sylvia.
Yes.
Is that where he left the boat? Who left the boat?
Glenn left the boat.
I want to know who left the boat.
And that boat started rocking, so.
Was he down in his little quarters getting it on with Miss Sylvia?
Oh.
Okay. I think my prediction, though, is it's Paget making out with Georgia off boat. Honey, that's my prediction.
I'm so
You know
mad.
what?
That's my prediction too.
Oh,
yeah,
is
Diamond
it?
and Georgia
Me
somewhere.
and Nate
Oh
finally
my
agreed.
And
Something
so,
that actually
because
happened.
of that, that next prediction is then next episode.
She's pregnant.
We'll find out
no.
who's doing the resignation. Like this is when someone's gonna get fired
yeah.
because
of the vote.
This might be, and who knows? It might honestly be Adam and Jenna as well, because obviously they said they liked each other, but then they were all PDAing all over the boat, and I feel like someone's gonna get really tired of the other, or their stews and the help and the deckhands might actually start a mutiny and said, "This is not what we want to see here.
Not a mutiny.
This
This
is not what we want." But I mean, you know, if it happens or if it doesn't, we'll be here to comment on it next week, same time, same place. So ready and so glad that you all were able to join us. Again, you can follow me at Akilah Ffriend. I loved hosting for you all today. Nate, tell us where they can find you.
Royal Nate _ on all platforms.
I'm Amir Yassai, AMIR Yass, like Yass Queen _ and don't forget the _ lovelies.
And you can find me at California on Instagram.
All right, that's it for today. Buzz you later.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.